Hello and welcome in our YouTube channel Metallurgical Facts. In this video series, we are doing previous year papers of Vizag RNL for junior trainee, and we are doing only metallurgical engineering questions. And this is part fifth of this video series. So after this video, we will be completing 45 questions of this year. Okay, and the rest 30 questions will cover in upcoming 3 videos. So before this, we have given 4 videos of this video series. If you did not watch those videos, go through the playlist of junior trainee previous year paper solution and watch that videos also. That will be very beneficial for your upcoming WISEC exam as well as for GATE exam also, just for doing practice of metallurgical engineering question purpose. So the first question is purpose of secondary steel making. So they have given 3 statements, that is inclusion control, chemical composition adjustment and degassing. So there are many purpose of secondary steel making, and the important one are the modification of morphology. Okay, so modification of morphology is one. You can write down these things. This is very important terms. This is the purpose, this is the aim of the secondary steel making. The next one is degassing. Okay, so there are many degassers we use for removing the entrapped gases. Okay, so the third thing is to produce quality steel, or you can say the clean steel. So quality improvement also may be done through this secondary steel making. The fourth one is inclusion control. So inclusion control is a section by which in which we treat the steel by the slags, okay, synthetic slags, and we do the inclusion control by those processes. Okay, and fifth one is chemical composition adjustment. Okay, so chemical composition adjustment is also done by secondary steel making. Okay, so this is very important part of steel making, that is secondary steel making. And here from this list we can see that inclusion control is in our list. So a first statement is correct, chemical composition adjustment is also correct, and degassing is also correct. So 1 2 3 is correct answer for this question. So a part is correct. So the next question is, all of the following alloying elements increase hardenability of steel except. Okay, so they are asking about which element does not increase the hardenability. Okay, so this question is basically related to the heat treatment, and this is related to the triple T diagram. So I will tell you that cobalt is only element, by adding cobalt, this triple T diagram shifts left side, and because of this hardenability decreases. Okay, so I am writing here the properties which decreases if we increase, if we alloying with, if we do alloying with the cobalt. Okay, so hardenability decreases, ductility and toughness, ductility and toughness also, and abrasion resistance also decreases if we use cobalt in steel. Okay, and the other thing is corrosion, also corrosion resistance also decreases by alloying with the cobalt. Okay, so the cobalt is correct answer for this question. If we will add cobalt, this will decrease, the hardenability of steel will decrease. Okay, so C is correct. Is components that can be made only by the powder metallurgy route. Okay, so they are asking about these 4 components. They have given 4 components, first, second and third, fourth. They're asking that only made by the powder metallurgy route. So so I am writing here the products of powder metallurgy by which we can produce the we can powder metallurgy, by through the powder metallurgy route we can produce these products. So oil pumps, okay, absorbers, shock absorbers, self lubricating bearing, or you can say the normal bearings also, self lubricating bearing we can produce by this powder metallurgy route. And the fourth one is oxide dispersion strengthened alloys, oxide dispersion strengthened alloys. Okay, and fifth one is cermet. Cermet is basically the mixture of that ceramic and metals. Okay, so that we can get the property of both the ceramic as well as of metals. Okay, so in solid state solid oxide fuel cells we use this cermets as electrolytes. Okay, so the sixth when one is carbon brushes. Okay, so electrical brushes cannot be produced by this powder metallurgy route. However, the carbon brushes can be produced by this route, this powder metallurgy route. So first statement is correct, that porous bearing or filters can be produced by this powder metallurgy route. Cermets can also be produced, so third is also correct. And fourth one, that is oxide dispersion strengthen. So B part is correct for this question. So the next question is, to measure the hardness, Rockwell hardness test utilizes. So this question comes basically from the hardness test. Okay, so the four options: diameter of indentation, applied load, diameter of indentation, and time of load, applied load, and diameter of indentation, and D part is depth of indentation. Okay, so basically the hardness test utilizes the depth of indentation, that is depth of indentation under the constant load for measuring the hardness. Okay, so this D is correct answer for this question. Okay, so straightforward question, and this is 120. This is also important. That's why I'm telling this 120 diamond cone with a slightly rounded point called as Braille indenter. Okay, so Braille indenter is indenter which we use for Rockwell hardness, and the other one is 1 by 6 or 1 by 8 inch diameter. 1 by 6 or 1 by 8-inch diameter steel balls may also be used for as an indenter in Rockwell hardness test. So this is also important. They may ask this question, that which indenter is used in Rockwell hardness. So this is also important, along with this depth of indentation which is used for measuring the hardness in Rockwell hardness test. Okay, so D is correct answer for this question. The next question is, stress corrosion cracking is caused by number one, corrosive environment, number two, tensile stress, and number three, temperature. Okay, so they are asking about stress corrosion cracking. So from the name itself suggests that stress is required and corrosive environment is also required. Okay, so the first statement and the second statement is all right here. Okay, and the third is temperature. So temperature also plays important role in stress corrosion cracking, and it is also responsible for causing this stress corrosion cracking. Okay, so D part is correct answer for this question. So the next question is, strength of the microalloyed steel can be enhanced by. Okay, so the first question is, first statement is quenching, the second one is grain refinement and cold working. Okay, so this, what is this microalloyed steel? Microalloyed steel is basically a type of alloy steel that contains a small amounts of alloying element, small amounts of alloying elements. And what are the alloying elements? These alloying elements are basically, this is also very important, that's why I am telling you: niobium, titanium, vanadium, molybdenum, zirconium, boron, and some other rare earth metal also alloyed with in this microalloyed steel. Okay, so rare earth metal. So these are the metals which is used in microalloyed steel for special type of steels. Okay, so this is the microalloyed steel, and they are asking the strength of the microalloyed steel can be enhanced. So this is only possible by the enhancing for enhancing the strength of this microalloyed steel. Only grain refinement we can do, grain refinement, and the second thing is cold working. Okay, so these two things we can do for enhancing the strength of this microalloyed steel from the given options. Okay, so first so the second and the third, so the second and the third one is correct for this question. Okay, so A part is correct. So the next question is, during solidification of steel, killed ingots are. Okay, so there are three types of ingots we can produce. Okay, so the according to the oxygen content. So rimmed steel, the first one is rimmed steel, and in this is basically the low carbon steel. Okay, so this is low carbon steel with minimum content of the oxygen. Okay, and the other one is semi-killed steel. Okay, semi-killed steel is the steel which is partially oxidized. Okay, deoxidized, not oxidized. This is partially deoxidized. So we use the deoxidizer for deoxidizing the steel. So this is partially deoxidized. And the third one is killed steel, and killed steel is basically the steel which is having no oxygen, or you can say that this is strong deoxidized, strongly deoxidized, or strong deoxidizing agent is used for producing this killed steel. So we can say that aluminum, manganese, okay, and all that silicon we use for this for making this killed steel. Okay, so killed steel is basically the strong heavily deoxidized or strongly deoxidized steels. Okay, so the option is partially deoxidized, this is semi killed steel. Heavily oxidized, this is nothing, heavily deoxidized, so this is correct, and partially oxidized, this is incorrect. Okay, so this semi killed steel is partially deoxidized, killed steel is strongly deoxidized, and dim steel is simply low carbon steels. Okay, so this is the classification of steels according to the oxygen contents. Okay, so for this question, C part is correct for. So the next question is, inoculation of cast irons is done too. So this inoculation is done for the cast irons, and this is basically done for making change into the matrix structure, or you can say that microstructure we can change by doing this inoculation by adding the inoculant. Okay, so microstructures we can change in microstructure. I should write here change in microstructure. And the other thing is to avoid the defects. Okay, so basically casting defects. To avoid the casting defects, we use this we do this inoculation of this cast iron. Okay, so for the given options, to increase the solidification rate, to decrease the solidification rate, change the microstructure, decrease the strength of casting. So C part is correct for this question. The next question is, slag practice is used to removal of sulfur alone. So this slag practice is basically done for removal phosphorus and sulfur, and however this phosphorus itself removed during the EF furnace or BOF you can say. Okay, and for dephosphorization we use this. For desulfurization, what we do, we can add the elements, we can use the basic slag environment and low oxygen activity. We need this conditions for desulfurization, or you can say for removal of sulfur. Okay, so for obtaining this basic slag and lowering the oxygen activity, we need to add the CaO, that is calcium oxide. Okay, so this addition of CaO is basically done for in the slag practice, is that is used for the removal of sulfur alone. Okay, so C option is correct for this question. Thank you guys for your attention. Hope you have learned something new in this video. We will try to add few more parts of this 2019 previous year papers as soon as possible, and we will also add the 2018 papers in this video series. Subscribe our channel and press bell icon to get notifications. Thank you.